Good morning, everybody. It is Friday the 11th. Yes, I believe so. Yes, Friday, October 11th. I'm driving into work as usual. It's a little sunnier. Well, it's a little later in the morning. It's only 7 instead of my usual 6 something. So you get a little more sun. So once again, I'm talking about Kickstarter. I guess it's a whole Kickstarter focused, talks that I'll be doing for a while. Since so many people are doing Kickstarters, it's cool to talk about Kickstarters. What I'm going to talk about is kind of a saddish story. There's an individual who was doing a Kickstarter for Pathfinder. I can't remember the name actually of the Kickstarter, but you can look. It's basically trying to do a character design sheet, and you get more art and character design stuff, where you can basically do it automatic. It seemed like it was like Hero Labs Plus, and that's what I kind of called it in my head. And it seemed like a cool idea, but the execution of the idea is what really fell apart. He basically put it out there. He wanted $13,000, and I mean, I'd never heard of the guy. I do my best to try to hear about all the third-party publishers, try to support the third-party publishers. See, maybe we can team up with something, but to me, when I find another third-party publisher, this could be a good business opportunity for both of us. It all depends, so to reach out to people. And, he put the Kickstarter out. The artwork, I'll say right now, was professional. One of the artists he got to do his headshots for stuff was somebody who Paizo used, that I wanted to use, but I couldn't afford the rate. I mean, I was like, no, we can't afford that kind of rate. Us, me about money and art, so... I mean, it was much higher than even what I thought would be, realistically, as an artist of that level. So I was like, no, we're not going to be doing that. That's not going to be happening. But he got a lot of artwork from this individual, and the artwork is beautiful. I mean, it's like stunning. So I was very, very impressed with that. And what he suggested wasn't too crazy. It wasn't a super bad idea. The real issue that came down to the people. Well, there's two issues. The one being, he puts the information up, and then he's basically like, he's basically just like, hey, fund my project. And really, that's it. He doesn't do a lot of marketing. I don't think he needed like any pre-marketing for it. I think he just came on and was like, you're gonna give me money. And he started up a thread on the Paizo forums, and people started asking questions, and the questions weren't bad questions. They're like, hey, can you tell us a little bit more about yourself? We don't know more about you. And hey, and he kind of took I'm going to say a slightly antagonistic tone with guys who are potential donors. And I was reading through the thread, and I'm like, wow, okay, maybe that's not the best way to go about it. So I responded in the thread, and I said, hey, you might want to think about doing maybe a smaller version of this project, getting some stuff underneath your, underneath your belt, and getting your name out there a little bit better, and then try for the big Kickstarter, because it's kind of difficult for people to just go, hey, I'm here, Kickstart me. And I basically told him that, and I mean, he was kind of respondent to it, I guess. But yeah, I mean, and this was, it feels like it's been 2 weeks, but I know it's probably only been like a week or something that when I did that. And I guess yesterday he just canceled his Kickstarter, because he asked for $13,000. And he'd only raised like $1,200. And look, I have 2 failed Kickstarters under my belt, so I totally understand that feeling when you don't get the money and you've got to pull out, or you just don't get the money you're asking for. So for him, I'm sure he was upset and was like, oh, this sucks. And I hope he doesn't take it the wrong way. I think the presentation is what killed him. I mentioned this to many people. If you're going to do a Kickstarter, and I got this from Steve Russell, and I've taken it to more of an extreme. Steve's like, spend a month talking about the Kickstarter before you put it up. Get people out there, get people interested. And I mean, I'm like, oh, a month, that's not long enough. Let's do 3 months. And that's kind of been my thing for 3 months of getting stuff out there. I mean, personally, at least in my case, I believe doing that helps build the interest in it for a nice long time. By the time it comes out, the majority of people who are going to support it are there looking for it and interested for it. So it's that kind of feel. And he didn't really have that. He just had he's up and go. I was like, okay, that wasn't maybe the best choice, but okay. Then well, I mean, Legendary Games Kickstarter is continuing on, consistent. Not surprised. Yes, they're going to hit their numbers. Not surprised at all. I think the quality has always been there. You know, I think Jason and Rachel have done a great job promoting it, getting on blogs, and I think they've done it the right way. If you're ever confused and you want to see a good Kickstarter, watch their Kickstarter. I think what they've done is the correct way to do it. They're doing a textbook Kickstarter, no doubt. Let me see who else is going. Bones, of course, keeps moving along. Bones. So, Bones. That's all I can say about that. 1.5 million. You asked for 30,000. Yeah. Everybody's just wondering about the end. That's everybody. I mean, at this point, and this is the lull. I mean, this is the big lull in the middle of Kickstarter. You start out high, slows down, low, and then the last 3 to 5 days, up. So we're in this lull period. They'll continue to make money. People will continue to put money into it. I mean, like I said, I haven't yet donated. I didn't do the first one. And I was like, I don't know. And I said, I don't have the little minis. I'm not that guy, The second one here, now this one, I'm interested. I'm a little more interested than I was in the first one. Yeah, it isn't like it's more stuff. I have a feeling that I most likely will get in. Of course, I'll get in the 100 level so I can get all the minis and be happy. Not a big whoop-de-doo, not a big super-duper thing, nothing super crazy. Not a problem. I'm kind of okay with that. I think that in itself only makes this whole concept even better. I mean, $100 for all those minis it's just too good to pass up. And like I said, I'm not a mini hog like a lot of people I know. I know guys who are big mini hogs. They love minis. Realistically, I'm probably going to keep 10% of the minis I get, probably, and then sell the rest. It's just, I said I like supporting that kind of Kickstarter. I like Reaper. I like the minis they make. I think they make good minis. I think they've been a good company. I think there have been issues now with this whole Bones thing with them and retailers. I'm not going to lie about that. I think retailers and distributors have been pissed about this, but it's a question you got to ask yourself: is it better to sell direct, or is it better to sell through a middleman? How many times a year can they do a Bones thing? What if Bones is once a year? Every year we're going to do a Bones Kickstarter. We're going to run a Bones Kickstarter for once a year, and then we're going to put this stuff out. Are more and more people more likely to buy directly from them, or are they more likely to go in the store? It's a very interesting proposition. It's interesting. I don't know. I think Reaper has a lot of good ideas. I think the first Kickstarter proved that they've hit a niche in the market that people want minis. That's not a question. And people want their minis, and that's definitely not a question. I just think how long can this go on? I don't know. But so far so good. I mean, they can say they've made close to $5 million on Kickstarter by themselves, and this one's not even done. So if this one does as well as the last one, we're talking realistically almost $7 million on Kickstarter. That's a significant amount of cash. What other? There's was it Dragon Ox Tiger? Is that what it's called? There's a new Kickstarter, the Kung Fu Waxia one. That one just actually they got their funding, they got their initial 100% funding, and now they're going for threshold goals. And hey, small third-party publisher did what they're supposed to do, got the numbers that they're going to get, and now they're trying to get more stuff. And I signed up for that one. I mean, certain people online got in the whole tizzy fit of, is it this or is it that? And I just thought it was just ridiculous. I mean, comments about it, so I wasn't trying to start a fight. For once, I was not trying to start a fight. I was just saying I thought it was silly to debate, such a razor-thin point. I thought it wasn't that important. But I think it helped people who didn't know about the Kickstarter learn about it. And like I said, I think they have a good Kickstarter. I think they have a good track record on stuff. I think that you're going to see this book come out and it'll be pretty good. Like I said, hey man, take a chance with some people. Take a chance. And it really wasn't even a chance. He got online, he told me what he was going to do. He talked about it for a while, showed some samples, and I was like, okay, boom, sign me up. That's all you really have to do. I mean, for Kickstarter, it really isn't that difficult to do. I mean, it's really kind of, if you stick to a standard formula, you can do very well, I'll tell you mine. We're using for, Codex Torment. We started talking about this last month, or let's say last month. And we put a little webpage up. And this is our webpage where we tell people, hey, we're going to be doing this in 2014, sometime in January. So late January, that's when we plan to have it. And then we just connected all the names we're going to have involved with it and gave them links and showed it off. And that's this month. That's 3 months away. 2 months away, we'll start talking directly to the people who are working on this and saying, hey, what kind of monsters are you planning on working on? What kind of monsters do you think you'd want to see in this? What kind of stuff would you... And do that kind of interview stuff. Very, very simple. 1 month away, I'll talk directly to my guys who are definitely working on it. I'll ask them, hey, what are you working on? Let's actually show the process of us making monsters. Because we know we're making monsters. Our Kickstarter. So we're making monsters. So let's show you the process. So we'll show you the process of how we came up with an idea. Where did the idea come from? Here's some art that we got to inspire the idea. Then we're going to show you how the artist develops. Hey, this is how our artist looked at it. He thought it was this, and he thought, oh, this is going to be some great stuff. And that's what we do. We're just going to develop it like that. And to me, that's going to be great. People are going to see what we're planning. And then, Kickstarter starts. So you've got a lot of, you got 3 months of understanding what we're planning, who we're talking to, what we're looking to do. You've got that in the front, and in the back, you got this very easy transition to actually starting the actual Kickstarter. So when the Kickstarter starts, we'll have all these items and things readily available for people to look at and enjoy. Kickstarter starts, we keep promoting it, and this is what I would do. And I'm going to tell people, this is one, if you're like me, any of the Kickstarters you do, you're going to sell online as a PDF. Because you're going to. Why would you not? Someone's going to miss the Kickstarter. They're not going to get the opportunity of getting it. So, if you plan to sell it online, specifically to RPG Now, what I would tell you to do is, on your site, change your footers. Develop footers in the bottom that say, support our Kickstarter. We've got this Kickstarter going on, blah, blah, blah. And keep releasing new product. Or even better, find some free product you can give away that's kind of cool. People then will see, oh, free product. Oh, I didn't know you were doing a Kickstarter. Got them. Right there. Got them. Not rocket science. Real simple, but you got to think. That's all this is. They'll see it. They'll come up more and more. If you want to be really good, you buy a couple banner ads at RPG Now and have them go to a specific page that has the footer that I talked about. Do that. And keep just dumping all your points into that and getting those banners up and getting that in rotation. Because people are going to see that. People are going to, and make a great banner. Make some great banner that's like, oh, I got to click on that. Boom, they click on it, they see the page, you got them again. It's all about exposure. The more exposure you get for this project, the more money you'll generate. It's just that simple. You're doing an event, go to some of the well-known geekier podcasts, blogs, videocasts. Go to all of them. Tell them, hey, this is the Kickstarter we're doing. Here's all the people we have involved. This is the system we're doing for it. Can you support us? Maybe give us a quick shout out. Maybe that kind of thing. Do that stuff before you do the Kickstarter. Talk about that stuff, second month. Just send those guys out that stuff. Say, hey, this is when we're going to start it. This is when it's going to end. Give them a press release, basically. I'll give them a rundown of what's going on. And then probably after that point, I would say every week you keep bringing it up to them so it stays fresh in their mind. This is what, look, some people are like, I fired it off once and they didn't respond. Dude, this is advertising. You got to tell people and 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 tell people. Here's a crazy little fact about advertising. For anybody to see your stuff, they've got to see it 3 times. Yeah, it sounds pretty simple, right? 3 times. People remember it. Well, here's the problem. For every time the person sees it once, they have to see it 9 times for the brain to register they actually saw it once. Now think about that for a second. You've got to watch something 9 times to register you saw it once, and you have to see it at least 3 times to register you actually are interested and you actually realize it's actually something. So you've got to see this thing 27 times before you actually think it's actually a real thing. Now, you think about it like that, you're like, 27 times? Like, no. It's so subtle. It's advertising, when done well, is so subtle and so seductive. Oh, goodness. 27 times. 27 times. People say, oh, about 27 times, I'll be tired of hearing about it. There are songs you hated when you heard it the first, 10 times. Now you sing those songs in the car and you know every word to it. Why is that? But you heard it over and over and over and over and over again. And they kind of brainwashed you. It's kind of a little bit of brainwashing. I can't deny a little brainwashing action going on there. You should be doing the same thing for your Kickstarter. You have got to get people on your side to support your Kickstarter. Do it subtly with ads. And they don't have to be like smash people in the face kind of, but you can do it and make it, I'd say, impactful and forceful, but I don't mean that in the Hulk kind of way, but definitely, hey, this is what we got, this is what we're doing, here's our Kickstarter, come check us out and support us. If the product or idea is good, people are going to support you, because they want to support you, because they want that product. I mean, Obsidian Apocalypse got made, and I'll tell everybody, this is the hook that I use, and this is, next time you can use one too like this. It works very, very well. I learned it from when they were talking about pitching movies, when I taken some movie classes. You want to pitch a really good movie or a really good concept, you got to give them something they can identify with and make a connection with the product. Great example. The movie Under Siege was pitched as Die Hard on a boat. Okay, I like Die Hard. Hey, it's my coworker. Hey, people knew what Die Hard was. They knew it was on a boat. Boom, easy situation. Now I'm at work. So these are things you can easily do to help yourself out. Think about the product. And like I said, Obsidian Apocalypse. I might even take you guys for a little bit of a walk so you can see me walk to my job. Obsidian Apocalypse, I pitched it with the idea, it's Ravenloft meets Dark Sun. Booyah, Ravenloft meets Dark Sun. People knew what that meant. I didn't have to tell them anything. I didn't have to really say anything after that. I said, I pitched Neo Exodus as it's Babylon 5 meets Game of Thrones. Yeah. I pitch it like that. People understand the shortcuts in terms of use. Plus, it identifies you with stuff that's kind of cool. Oh, look, my coworker Joyce. Say hi, Joyce. No, I'm talking to my people on my podcast. That's what I do in the morning.
Hello, everybody.
So
Happy Friday.
Yeah, so we're working to work. So that's it. I guess, just think of a good title. Stick with something like that. All right, I'm going. Talk to y'all later.